Padres fans, I got big news for you. We got to talk about one of the major superstars for the Padres being basically sidelined, or at least put in reserve for the playoffs. I want to know what you think about it. Let's talk about it all on this episode of Padres Digest. What's going on, everyone? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode. Thanks for tuning in. It's the playoffs. We have pitching announcements from management of who's going to be starting games 1, games 2. Michael King is not going to even be starting game 3, though. However, he has been relegated to the bullpen. We're going to talk about all of that and the different names brought up in this video. If you want to hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated, but I never judge if you don't, so no worries. Let's run down this one in chronological, game-wise order, and then we will get to the Q&A back and forth group therapy session that is having this community of Padres fans. The first announcement being that Nick Pivetta is starting game 1 for the wild card series. This is going to be a day game at Chicago's Wrigley Field. I like this, the matchup. Offensively, you can go over and check out Andrew's video. He's doing a position-by-position comparison analysis breakdown also today. I'm really just going to be talking about the pitching on this video, and most specifically about the Padres pitching. The Cubs, you would have seen their number 1 pitcher against Pivetta, but he has broken a rib, coughing. I am not making that up. The Padres are catching a break here with the rotation. So, but like, I'm going to just know that we're in a good situation, but the Padres, I think maybe, I'm not sure if they're setting themselves up for maximum success. Pivetta being game 1, it's this announcement, I think, that caught me most off guard. Cease starting game 2, according to Mike Shildt. Yu Darvish likely to start game 3 if necessary. King will be available out of the bullpen all series. I did a video last week kind of sarcastically being like, oh yeah, even though King looks healthy and Darvish is always a good game 3 guy, we should go Pivetta, King, Pivetta, King, one of those two, and then Darvish. Or let's throw Cease first and get the bad game out of the way. Game 2 feels like a tricky one to me, because if you hypothetically follow the formatting of like we're the hot hand right now, we go in there, Tatis and his recovery from ringworm, it looks like, wink, wink, nod, nod. I'm kidding, I'm joking, but he's back and he's hitting really well. Like, if the vibes are continuing and Pivetta pitches well and we get that first game win, do you want to deviate the general vibes of like playoff success with, all right, now we got to roll the dice entirely on Cease? I kind of think you go for the kill on game 2, and even if that is 3 or 4 innings of Michael King, I'm trying to weigh the value of him being King, going out there in 4 different, or 3 different relief appearances across the series versus 1 good start. And I could be talked into this approach being beneficial if we're looking at a 7-game series, where it's like, oh, he might have only gone 5 in a start in game 3, but he went 1 inning in all 7 games and had an, okay, sure. But in a 3-game series, I think I'd rather take 5 innings of Michael King throwing his best baseball season on the line. What is the line from Waterboy? Last game of the season, Dan got to leave it all out there. Instead, they, as you saw, Cease goes game 2, Darvish game 3. Darvish 3 is fine to me, because that's he's a veteran. It's a big game on the road. He used to play for the Cubs. I can dig all of the things needed to be like, okay, yeah, Yu Darvish is going to go out there with the season on the line, and let's let him have his moment to do that. The case, I guess, for Cease, if I'm trying to not be a hater and more be a this, that, and the other, is here's your chance to make your money, homie. The vibe all season long, unless I am in horrendously misreading this has been that Dylan Cease is not necessarily endeared to the Padres in any sort of specific way that's going to keep him here at a discounted price or anything like that. And that his camp wants a good, full, max free agent kind of, at least they want to try and get that. What better way to offset a season of ups and downs than with 5 or 6 really good innings of 12 strikeouts and just going to work? Cool. In the relatively somewhere trying to land in between, we saw in his last outing of the season, 5 innings, 1 run, 8 strikeouts. Give me that. If Cease can give me that, then I trust a bullpen of King, Morihone, Miller, Suarez, or King, Suarez, Miller, Morihone, like whatever the 4 in that, or some variety of order, doing 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, sure. And then in the next round against the Brewers, you move King in, and ultimately it was like, oh, yeah, like he got a little bit of, sure, there could be some 3D gamesmanship there where it all does work out, but the root of me coming back to is I'm just a little concerned. Looking at the just overall where everybody is, because the Padres, as of us recording this, still have 24 hours to finalize the rosters for the playoffs. Here are the starting pitchers listed on the depth chart, with Musgrove and Cortez still on the IL. I think that at this point, Nestor's not going to be, especially since they've announced who the starters are, Nestor's not going to be rushing back. But I don't see Sears or Vasquez as guys that I'm like, oh, man, we need to move them into the bullpen if we're already talking about King from this list being moved into the bullpen in the course of this 3-game series. So then we look over at the bullpen, and that's, I think, now the question of the hour is who's going to be filling out these last couple of spots. I apologize, as always, to those of you watching this on a small phone if this text is too small, but it's going to come down to those last 3 names, Wandy Peralta, Yuki Matsui, and Bradley Rodriguez. There is a potential narrative of whether or not Diaz needs to have a backup for him, and we're going to add Campusano. That is still a question that has not been answered and won't be answered until Tuesday, but some combo of those two, unless you take a Vasquez or something like that off. But if you're moving King over, maybe you don't even envision using those guys or anything past David Morgan in this series, then maybe it's not an issue. But so right now, 24 hours out from the playoff rosters being announced, what we've got for you to summarize all of this is that Pivetta is the 1, Cease is the 2, King is the 3, or Darvish is the 3, King is into the bullpen, and there is still a question mark about who's going to be those last spots determined in the bullpen. Let me know what you think about this approach. I'm going to be confident until we lose, and then past that I'll still be confident because it's a paid gig to talk about the Padres. It's better content with me being confident. But on the more let's do this rationally side, I still think that the Padres have a very good chance in this series. But we got to get the best baseball, or at least some proxy of the best baseball from a couple of different guys. Let me know what you think, like I said, of all this pitching stuff. If you want to hit the subscribe button, it's also much appreciated. Until next time, talk to you guys soon.